Member Bonneville Cold Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Problems related to information and privacy have never been a rising problem that this government has addressed. It's bad enough that the NDP withholds information from Alberta's under 40, and it's just as bad that the privacy of Albertans is being violated. Most recently, a former AHS staff member has fined $3,000 for inappropriately accessing information. Yet it appears there's no obligation for the incidents to be publicly reported. To the Minister of Health, is it mandatory for your ministry to report these types of privacy breaches? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and to the member for the question. When privacy is breached, obviously it's a deep concern. A number of factors are taken into consideration, including the risk that it might put to the individual if they were notified. So I believe that there is some room for regularly it's said that the rules need to be questioned sometimes, Mr. Speaker, but it is certainly best practice whenever it's safe to do so, to share that information with the individual who could have been impacted, but there are times where it isn't safe to do so, Mr. Speaker.
For supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given in May 2014, the Health Information Amendment Act passed third reading, and given that this act would have made reporting privacy breaches mandatory, but unfortunately the section of the act that this act brought forward was never fully brought into force. To the Minister of Health, how can it be mandatory given that you have not proclaimed the legislation necessary to publicly report and investigate breaches under the law?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, in answer to the first question, Mr. Speaker, I clarified there are times where information needs to be taken into consideration, as the implications of notifying the individual could be damaging both to their safety and the safety of others, Mr. Speaker. So that, I believe, is one of the reasons why that piece has not been proclaimed, Mr. Speaker. But obviously the intent is to ensure that whenever it's safe to do so, that information is shared, Mr. Speaker. But certainly there are times where it may not be safe to do so, Mr. Speaker, and people's safety obviously needs to be the top priority.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It appears that you're hiding breaches. Given that it appears no mandatory reporting for health-related breach problems, and given that this concern for privacy and security has been raised on all sides of the House, and considering that the member of Edmonton Calder, former NDP health critic, said in May of 2014 that the information on this bill was, quote, very timely and important, end quote, will you immediately implement this bill to protect Albertans' sensitive health information now that you're in government? Is privacy and security no longer timely or important?
The Honourable Minister.
Of course, timely and security is timely and important, Mr. Speaker, and that's one of the reasons why I'm confident that my colleague, the Honourable Member for Edmonton Calder and Minister of Education, made those remarks, Mr. Speaker. There are times where sharing the information could cause a serious threat to a number of individuals, Mr. Speaker, threat of safety, threat of well-being, and that, of course, needs to be taken into consideration. But the intent, of course, is whenever it's safe to do so, to share information, Mr. Speaker, and that will continue to be the case, Mr. Speaker.